Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome to Bar Talk with Jay, sponsored by R&B Roll-Off for your great roll-off needs. And if you didn't know what a roll-off is, that's when that container rolls off your truck to get all that garbage, them hoarders.
Right.
Yeah, you don't got to hoard no more. We got a spring special for you, $325 that includes delivery to a can to your house. That's right, all the way up to 4 tons. And if you mention Bar Talk with Jay, we might give you another ton.
Okay.
So that's up to 5. Just for mention Bar Talk with Jay. Y'all be able to see it on my webpage come tomorrow. And again, we got to get it approved through the owner to make sure he likes how I presented it.
Right.
Once I get that, it'll be on the webpage. And again, we're going to bring some special offers to everybody in the Powder Springs and all surrounding counties as well.
World.
You know, we're going to get Atlanta in there, a little Fulton, a little bit of Douglas. You know, we ain't hating on Douglas, but you know,
Right.
we ain't trying to go too far.
Right.
All that power in this stuff, you know,
Exactly.
it's too deep.
Right.
So again, Bar Talk with Jay is pushing, again, R&B roll-off. So,
All right.
gotta get back to my man in the building, Craftmatic in the building.
What's up, Smooth Jay? How
Man.
you doing, man?
I'm just trying to make it, my brother.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to be here, man. It's time to do another show, do what we do.
I mean,
Folks, this is Bar Talk with Jay, and this is just our opportunity to inspire you. We're gonna have a lot of great dialogue tonight.
Yeah. Tonight gonna be on, but you know,
Tonight's gonna be on.
I don't think you was excited what you be saying since TK ain't been here. You know, I'm just saying, you know, you ain't the same chipper person.
I got to call TK. I got to figure out what's going on with her.
You know, because I think she got you in your spirit. Bro.
Yeah.
And I need to get you back right.
Okay. Well, listen, we're gonna talk about that later on, because I got some interesting twists to our show tonight. So again, this is Bar Talk with Jay. What we want to do is just have a great conversation and allow you to participate in your own way. Sometimes it just changes your mind. Sometimes it changes a belief system. Sometimes it changes your attitude. But as we're talking, we're hoping that you get some value out of the conversation. We like to talk about things that are a little edgy, but we always bring them home with love and morality, and we try to be professional. But it doesn't always work out with some of the subjects, and you'll see how it works tonight. So if you've been with us, if this is your first time joining us, we're glad to have you. And Jay and I have a dynamic program lined up for you tonight. So get ready. Get set, let's go. Do we have Miss Barbara on the line?
Nah, man, we tried to get her on. We couldn't even get her. Bro.
We couldn't get her on?
Get her.
Okay, well let's just read her prayer. We're gonna open with a little prayer.
I'm here.
Okay.
Well, my bad.
Hey Miss Barbara, how you doing?
I'm doing well, consider the situation.
Yes. I know about your situation, and I won't put your business in the street, but
No, I do it in heart.
she's going through a very difficult time, folk, and was able to be with us tonight, which is, just another statement of her commitment to not only the show but to our audience,
Yes.
because we like to feel like we're serving people. So thank you so much for being here, Barbara. You want to go ahead and open our prayer tonight? And do you have any other words to say?
Okay, the prayer for tonight is say, thank you, Lord, for this day and for the life and for many blessings.
Yes.
I believe in your goodness with all my heart. So I'm asking you to go before me today. Bring my God to situations, make me wonder which way to go. As each hour passes on this day, Lord, bless me with your strength. Enjoy and please keep me under your watchful eye the entire day. Ever ready to help me and offer me comfort. In the Lord's name, amen.
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 Powerful.
Super powerful. And if I just might share a word around that, what that prayer did for me, particularly as I read it before the show, is that it caused me to realize that I really don't have any power. I really don't have anything without the Lord. And so I have to give my whole body, my whole mind, my whole attention, my whole effort toward the Lord, and He'll perfect everything that needs to happen in my life. And He'll keep me on the road. And so it's about asking Him to always be with us and knowing that He's always there. Asking before before the hard times, but when the hard times come, just ask for guidance. Ask Him to keep you under your watchful eye the entire day. Ask Him to be ready to help you and offer you comfort What a powerful prayer, man. So thank you so much, Barbara, for bringing that. Any comment, Jay?
Man, not on that one. I mean, the words itself is so powerful, you can't even step on that.
Yeah.
Drop the mic. You did a wonderful job there,
Yeah.
Barbara. But you might as well give us the recap, Barb, since you're right there. We got to get her more involved.
Yeah, go ahead, Barb. You want to
But
tell us the
I wanted to add something to the prayer.
Okay.
I need for our audience and everybody to understand. Not only is the Lord there for you, but you got to have faith in Him and believe in Him in order for things to happen on a daily basis. Because if you don't, and you have that certain, and that Satan hits you don't have the faith. You got to have it every day.
Right.
Time you wake up, the time you sleep.
Right. I mean, listen, boy, I got so much to say on that faith. See, your faith is your connection to the Lord, right? See, He's always there,
That's right.
but you won't connect with Him until you open the doorway in your spirit of faith, right? And we don't know if faith is made out of molecules or mountains, or if it's made out of, invisible energy. But we know that when we believe, trust, see, it's that trust energy that needs to happen in our gut, where we don't have butterflies, we don't have any flutters. All we have is peace in our gut and in our body. And when we have that peace in our body, then we recognize that the peace must be coming from our mind, because now our mind is connected with the Lord. And that's what faith is all about. So when I can think rightly, it'll manifest through my body in peace, and it'll manifest through my affairs in peace. So faith is the connection to the Lord, and I'd love to spend hours upon hours on that subject. I think we need to talk about more of that and teach more of that, since it's not being taught in the school. And I'm going to promise you, folks, I'm going to put that programming together. Jay and I have been talking about it for nearly 2 years, but we've been so busy with this project. But it's coming. I got some great inspirational stuff for the heart and mind of all humans, all people who want to go to the next level in their lives. So, quick recap from last week's show. Your spouse loves you, but they love masturbation more than sex with you. What do you do?
Run!
What do you do, Jay? I mean, it's a real subject, right? In the bedrooms of America, in the bedrooms of the world, there are one or the other in the bed, in a marital, spousal, or even boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, one of them over there masturbating and over there getting their rocks off in their mind. And so it's real, and it's happening. True. And so, if they happen to like that more than like sex, what do you do, Jay? What do you do?
Well, again, in a situation like that, I mean, you got to make sure you don't do a blow to an ego, first of all.
Okay.
Because, again, if it interrupts you and it hits you at an ego point where they just do it blatantly in front of you, you're not wanting, and you just letting me know that I ain't did that, that's an ego bust, okay?
That's a crush.
It ain't going to really go too much further than that.
That's a crush.
Once you hit a person's ego, that's right. Now, if she's doing it in a way that, hey, obviously you might need a little help. So, and again, let her.
Or maybe just need a spotter.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like to coach. Yeah. So as she do it, because she know how to play her game.
Right. She know how
to
get herself off.
And I want to know how to get her off as well.
Right.
So I want to move with her.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to put your hand on her hand.
Yeah.
And let her move her, and then I learn her, and then we learn each other.
Yeah, you know what I've been learning lately, Jay?
What's that, bro?
Breathing.
That breathing technique,
that breathing is special. You know what I'm saying? There's something special.
Wait, y'all ain't paying for this. Y'all ain't getting no more. All right, y'all need to come to the special. We can't just keep telling it.
I promised myself I wasn't gonna say that kind of stuff on the show, but we're there. But listen,
I will say
it's real.
It is past real.
It's real. It's real in the field.
Again, it's past looking at sheeps and all that other crazy stuff.
And listen, we talked last week. There are people who will have a weekend or a lot of great sex with their spouse or significant other, and as soon as they go to the store or as soon as they disappear and go to work the next day, they have to masturbate. And that means it doesn't mean that they didn't necessarily get enough of that and have a great time, but there is a certain place that can only be touched by the person who owns that. Right? So, right? Listen, I don't want to, turn it out too much, but you can't get upset in your feelings because somebody else needs to, express themselves in a certain way.
And remember, there's also masturbation when people is far away. And it's just a form of them getting off because, again, long distance relationships and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, again, we're not trying to tease anybody or pick with it. But the fact that nobody has the conversation is sad to me because they know it happens, but then when it be called to the table, most people are embarrassed about it.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk about it, but truthfully, it happens at a very young age.
Yeah.
And then people are kind of wanting to know some things, and then everybody's talking about, no, you'll go blind, get hairy palms. They ain't being real truthful with you. So now I'm wearing glasses thinking because of what I did with back in the day, messed my vision up. Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
So,
but listen, we all got bad eyesight in that case. But believe me, the subject of masturbation is very rarely talked about, especially in kind of a public forum. We try to keep it clean. We try to keep it earnest. But it's happening in every bedroom in the world. And, we should probably be enlightened a little more on what it means to us. And most importantly, if you're in a relationship, what it may mean to your spouse. It may mean that you're rejecting them in some way. And we don't want that. You don't mean to reject them. You just have your own way and your own needs and trying to get that fulfilled. So listen, it was a fabulous conversation. And I would encourage you to go back. Check out the previous shows. We're always on bartalkwithjay.com, but you can find us at Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube.
Well, they got us on Black Page.
Keep going.
Black Planet, MySpace. I'm trying to get us everywhere. I ain't like, for the old cats that's still on that old stuff, I'm right there with you.
Listen, take us off of them venues.
Why?
Yeah, we don't need to be on them.
POF?
Yeah. That's too much damage.
Plenty of fish.
Yeah. Hey, what's the word? The word y'all had last night? Collateral damage?
Yeah, collateral damage.
Yeah, we don't need...
It's acceptable loss.
We don't need acceptable losses, right? Listen, this is a great point. Listen, Jay participates in a men's group and have for many years, and they come up with a word for the day. And last night, the word was...
Collateral damage.
Collateral damage. And so we all need to just talk about the words collateral damage because it means acceptable losses.
That's right.
And that can go all over the place. Relationships, that can go toward, your business partner, that can go toward your business, Sometimes you got to fire. Sometimes you got to fire people from your life. Sometimes you got to, that you're beyond that place. You're beyond those people. You have more potential. And so you got to make that separation,
And again, put yourself in position that you ain't on that other side.
There you go.
You'll never know who's going to get these cuts.
There you go.
So, Barb, we don't got to get Barb for the quote now. We got to get her back in here.
Yeah, Barb, why don't you go ahead and read the quote for us?
The quote for today. When you face a difficulty, sometimes you don't understand. Instead of being discouraged, instead of complaining, have a new perspective. This is not here to defeat me. It's here to promote me. And I have something to say to that. You said you weren't going to put my business out in the street. I give the Lord the glory and the praise that both of my sons are still here today. I like to have lost one, but they're still here. Even though they went through their trials and tribulations, they will understand now, and it'll be the best for them.
And like I said, I picked with it and said I would throw her business out there, but she know I respect her, and I respect them as well. So I wouldn't really do that, but I had to talk to Barb through this whole ordeal, and again, it was very touching. But she rose like a true hero.
Yeah.
If they didn't know how much they love their mama, when they get home from the hospital, they have to know how much she loves them, because she was there from the beginning to the end. And again, like any true woman, she do what she has to do, what she feels she needs to do for her own siblings. And that right there is an honor. So to all strong women, Mother's Day is around the corner. I salute you.
Yes.
Because again, it's not easy, and what you're facing and your child almost dying, there's nothing I can say. I never want to face it. I don't want to deal with it. But it is something that I know one day might happen.
Right.
So again, she stepped up, and what she did is what I will hope to be able to do.
Absolutely.
And she's a woman, I'm a man, and I can say it to her.
Yeah, you know people sometimes, but you really don't know people. But when you can see, when there's a window for you to see into their lives, and you can see what they're dealing with, and you can see how they're holding up, and you can see how they're standing strong, and you can see how they're persevering, you really get to know the character of a person. And that's what I see in watching Barbara go through this scenario. So thank you so much again for being with us, Barbara. I wanted to say on this quote, there are a lot of folks who are facing hard times, you know, and it just seems like, you know, life's trials and tribulations continue to press upon people to the point that they just seem like they can't move forward in their lives. And it's happening all around us, Jay. You know people at work, friends, you know, all going through a bunch of stuff, okay? I just want to plant this message that the first thing to know, folks, if you're going through something, whatever it may be, is that you're not alone. That we've all been through those things before. Your mother, your father, your siblings, you know, some of your co-workers, your best friends. We've been through those things before. And what the point I really want to make is that we all remember the point at which we changed our mind. And we said we are not going to let this circumstance beat us. See, I've been through some dark times when I had to live on $10 a week and buy bread. I've been buying bread and a bag of potatoes, and I didn't have enough money to buy the butter. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to get a cup of butter. I didn't have enough money to buy the butter, right? But I changed my mind. I said, you know what? This is only temporary. This is not who I am. This is just something I'm going through. And so this quote here is talking about, instead of being discouraged, instead of complaining, have a new perspective, all right? Because this is not here to defeat me. It's here to promote me. And what's important is that you have to change your mind to the degree that you can start to be grateful for what's next to come. You just start thanking the Lord. I thank you, Lord, for bringing me out of this. I thank you, Lord, for making this situation right. I thank you, Lord, for making crooked places straight. I thank you, Lord, for making my mistakes not work against me. I thank you, Lord, for prosperity and provision. I thank you. You just have to get in that mindset where you get out of the troubles and you get in the clouds and in the heavens where the problem's already fixed and healed. That's what is important about this quote. So I won't belabor it anymore. I know we got to move on, but man, I can really go hard in the paint on that. You got to change your mind, Jay. That's what life is all about.
You gotta call it Tiki, bro.
Yeah.
You in it.
Yeah. I'm gonna do it right after the show too.
Definitely worried about that one.
Yeah. Man, this is so inspirational, bro.
I see.
You know what I mean? This is good stuff.
We gotta get a little Barb in here. Barb, you there?
I'm here.
All right. You wanna
I'm
give
here.
You wanna
You
ask
want
that?
me to give the topic for today?
Not just yet.
No,
I
yeah,
want
we got
you
3 minutes.
I
Let's
want you to tell me about my
Okay.
segment. Ask me that question for my segment.
You want to do what now?
I want you to ask the question for my segment.
I'll ask the question. Here we go. Jay,
What you got?
explain why the greatest glory in life is rising when you fall.
You gotta understand the lesson of the fall.
Woo!
And it's going to be what's going to help you on the rise.
Yes.
A lot of times when we get in the fall and you get to your downs, you forget about the fact that you can get back up. The Lord put things in your place that you're not going to always understand. The
Right.
biggest thing is to understand. If I can tell you some of my prayers, it's really for understanding, because it's presented in front of you. You just don't understand what it is.
Right.
You ain't been exposed. No one really told you. So when it exposes itself to you and you don't know what it is, you won't gravitate to it.
Right.
So you have to have an open mind. And in prayer, that opens you up. That's that channel that you was talking about.
Yeah.
That takes the butterflies out and it puts that better feeling in.
Right.
And it's better in tuning with yourself. Is stop listening what people are telling you, back to inner understanding.
Right.
And when you get that,
Right.
man, it changes everything. So now your falls is lessons.
Right.
It's not even no more a failure. It's not a failure at all. It's just a lesson.
Yeah.
And then you look at it in a positive way instead of a negative way, because a fall hurts. I promise you.
Yeah.
The landing, the getting up, the brushing off, all that right there can be embarrassing, ego bust. But if you really look at it for what it is,
Yeah.
and you understand what you went through,
Yeah.
and you make some tweaks and changes,
Yeah.
it's just a lesson. It's
Yeah.
called a formula.
Yeah, and I just want to restate it and then share just a couple of quick points. Explain why the greatest glory in life is rising when you fall. You know, we oftentimes don't get an opportunity to see who we are. And you know, when the mountain is behind you, you can really think about what you have in you. Right? You was like, you know what? I'm a fighter. I'm a go-getter. I made that happen. And so I'm talking about, folks, remembering the feeling, remembering the successes that you had in the past, right? Because the glory is the rise. After you fall, you can look back on all that and say, now look where I am. Now look what I can do. And if I can go from there to now, right, just imagine what I can do tomorrow. So it gives you an opportunity knowing that the hurdle that you faced is now a story that you tell.
It is.
Right? And another way to put it is you can now see. Right? You couldn't see before, but now you can see not only what you're capable of, but you can see how God might have blessed you. You might be able to see your potential, right? See your third eye. Your third eye is open to that dimension. That dimension that you faced, you conquered that. And you're a giant in that land. If you go back to those areas of life, you're a giant in that land. And you might be the giant that you need to be that giant based on what you went through, so you can do it for your children and support them through it and make that put that bridge over troubled waters for them. So there's always a reason for the rise and fall, and there's always a lesson to be learned, but it's important that you look over your shoulder and say, you know what, I did that. I'm somebody. I'm going somewhere. Thank you, Lord. Woo!
You deep on that one.
Amen.
You deep on that one. I can't say anything.
Man, listen, amen. And listen, let's just go ahead and set this up for tonight because it is break time. You can already see Jay and I are on one tonight.
Yes, crap.
We are on one tonight in full effect. Here is the subject for tonight.
Oh, no, you gotta let Barb.
Okay. Barb, please bring us in with the subject.
They is on her deathbed and they side piece walks in. What do you do? A, focus on B, say, and deal with the drama later. B, tell the side piece to leave. C, you leave yourself. Or D, pull the plug on back.
So listen, if your significant other's on their deathbed and they side piece walk in, what do? That's what we are talking about tonight. I've got some real interesting and lovely music lined up for you, so just enjoy the breaks, and we'll be right back with more Bar Talk with Jay.
God that look like him, that's not him, that is him.
Okay.
Jamal, what you got for us, big baby?
Man, what's going on that man? Bar Talk with Jay Craft. What's happening?
Man, what's good with you, bro? We holding it down over here, man. It's summertime in Atlanta, boy.
Yes.
Getting 83, 88 degrees every day.
Yeah.
The sundresses.
That means they're naked.
Yeah.
If they ain't naked, they spandex, boy.
They definitely bringing the legs,
You know when they
boy.
start wearing them summer dresses?
Yes.
Oh, buddy.
Yes,
Especially
boy.
the gray and the yellow one.
Right.
Oh, I love them summer dresses.
Yeah, you ladies
Tell
look so
when the panty
beautiful
line
in
ain't
those.
there.
So
All
what,
right.
what you got for us tonight, big
No
time?
panty line. All right, so I heard there's a topic about what would you do if your side piece showed up while you was on your deathbed.
Yeah.
Now, me and Jay had a quick little discussion. We had to take a little input from a homegirl of mine. Men's responses and women's responses is totally different. Because my response, well, if I'm on my deathbed, I'm dead. You can argue all you want. I'm gone now. Jesus, she fine. I'm sorry, I'm in the store and I just seen something amazing. But if I'm dead, you can't argue with me about nothing. I ain't here to hear it. However,
I love it.
I will say this. You better have your side pieces in check. Because a homegirl of mine, she told me up front, as long as she stay in her place, hey, they good to come say goodbye and all that. But if she start kissing up on me and touching on me in front of her, my girl might plug me back in just to kill me again. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My piece of advice for all the players out there is make sure your side piece know her roles.
Yeah.
If your side piece don't know her role, you in trouble.
Okay.
I don't care how strong your game is.
Right. I see. You know, I got to take my mindset and put it on the road for cheating. You know what I'm saying? In order to entertain this subject, because my mindset don't stay there. But
it ain't that hard. Let me help you. Let me lend you my hat. I'm gonna give it to you. It ain't gonna be that hard for you to get in that mindset. Play on, player.
Come on, baby.
Oh, Lord.
You gonna teach me how to cheat there?
You learned it from the master.
I think it's more like a refresher course.
Okay. Right. I receive that. You know what I'm saying? I take that. The good Reverend Dr. Jabbar, right? Hey, listen. I think you make a great point, man. You know, you lay your words out there so nice sometimes. I just can't. I can't really piggyback on it. I can just give you my own opinion of the subject, but if I got a side piece, my side piece gonna already understand the game before I go, right? And everything's gonna be gravy. So she already gonna know how to operate amongst family or whatever. But I'm not planning to have no side pieces. But you know, I guess I'd know how to behave if I had one. I would probably have to coach her. Yeah, I'm with Jamal. If I'm on my deathbed, hey, you know, you can say whatever you want to say. You know what I mean? I'm already good with the Lord. Ain't really much you can do to me. You know, if you pull the plug, you might have just saved me a little pain. You know, you know. So that's an interesting point. I didn't think about
argument at that point.
Yeah, ain't no need to argue if you on the death side of the equation, but if you on the life side of the equation, that can hurt. That can sting a little bit. And or a whole lot. That can bring up a lot of the old memories and past. It's kind of like after all these wonderful years with Bill Cosby, we learned this kind of stuff in the very end. And it's almost like, what do you do with all those other years? All those other times that he might have had a side piece or that particular side piece. Mm-hmm. If you're on the life side of the equation, where do you go from there, man? How do you deal with that? Like, knowing that you thought you was making your spouse happy, but in the end, they had somebody, you know, for the last 20 years they shacked up with whenever they got ready.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw myself out here. This is not gonna be cute.
That's hard, man. That's hard.
Well, I got two different points of view, hers and his.
Okay.
Jamal went with his.
Okay.
So if it was me, okay, and I'm laying there, all I can tell you is don't revive me. If I flatline, leave it alone. Okay?
Okay.
No matter what I say when I was living, it's about I live my life for me.
Right.
So I would tell you, it ain't gonna be pretty up in that room.
Right.
It's gonna be crowded.
Right.
So it's gonna be a whole lot of faces. So finally, some people might be able to put some names.
Wait a minute.
I'm just trying to help you out.
Are you suggesting that?
I'm not suggesting. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm in a monogamous relationship. I'm not in a monogamous relationship.
No, but if you was on your deathbed,
if I'm on my deathbed, there's gonna be a lot of people in that room.
There's a lot of.
There's gonna be a whole lot of damn folks in that room. This time, we might need an overflow room there. I'm just trying to tell you.
We gonna get an overflow room.
It's gonna be some, and you might not want to ask.
I'm gonna orchestrate. No, listen.
Just don't ask no questions.
Listen, one of the central themes of this visitation is no questions allowed.
No questions. Right? Don't ask how you know me, how you got to know me. Right. All that cannot be present.
Yeah.
Or they don't listen.
Listen, all everybody need to know is that we loved you, Jay.
That's all I want.
We loved you. It don't matter.
Just give a quick.
How you met all these women. Where does all these estranged women come from, Jay?
And all I gotta say is, you gotta understand, when you have a big heart and you open, it causes a lot of things to happen.
Yeah,
so I'm exposed to a lot of people, and one of the things I have to say is a lot of people have love for me. I'm not always gonna say everybody loved me,
right?
But they had love for me. So my whole thing, the room was gonna be packed, and if you ask certain questions, you might not care for the answer. So again, like I would tell people that they don't always want to ask me. Right. I'm gonna say you might not want to ask them. But the most important thing is they're there to show love and respect for the fact that I'm on a deathbed. Then you might not want to ask certain questions. Just understand that they're just showing the same level of respect I've been trying to show people since I've been born.
Yeah.
That's all. But, but anything else is nasty, and I ain't saying nothing. Plead the fifth. I'm like Trump. I done grabbed it. I ain't trying to hear it.
You know what? Because if you ever tell a woman some things now, women, I gotta really say this to the females out there. Don't ask no questions if you're not prepared for the answer.
Okay.
Don't just only hope for the positive.
Right.
Like if you ask your man, are you sleeping with somebody else? When you got the courage to ask the question, you better have the brazenness to be prepared for the answer he may give you. Baby, are you cheating on me? Yeah, you know, I really was. And you wasn't home when I was needing it, so did what I did with Shirley down the street. See? If you never asked, you'd have never known. You would have went on about your day, and your bills would have still been paid. It'd have been good.
It'd be good.
Don't ask. Don't go looking for trouble. Women, if your man has a lock on his cell phone, let me help you out.
Right.
Leave it alone.
Okay.
Don't go swimming
That's
in the
good
devil's lake.
that's good
if
advice.
you ain't gonna get burned.
That's good
Don't do
advice.
that.
That's
if
great.
the phone got a lock on it, leave the lock alone. Don't go grabbing his fingerprint while he's sleeping.
Right.
Thinking you gonna take him that way.
Wow.
Facial recognition while he got his eyes closed. Don't do that. That's just wrong.
You all right, Cram?
Excuse me.
He said grabbing his fingerprint while he sleep.
Yeah. You think they won't?
Oh, some iPhones? Oh, no.
Oh my God.
She asked you for your fingerprint soon as you run on. She grabbing your finger while you thinking you about to get some morning love, and
Listen,
she over here like, nah, baby, let me just unlock. No, that ain't right. That's just wrong. That's
Hey,
wrong.
listen, I have never heard of that. I can see it happening now, but I had never put two and two together. I guess they could do that, huh?
You sleep. And it,
You sleep, a fingerprint ain't nothing. Yeah. Wow. Boy, I'm telling you what, this show.
yeah, we dry
this,
snitching.
this,
We
this,
dry
this
snitching.
show puts you on some serious pimp game, man. I'm telling you.
I ain't telling people how to cheat,
Right.
but I will say if you was to cheat, not me, but somebody like me would tell you,
Right.
number one, change her name in your phone. If her name is Brittany in her phone, bruh, it needs to be Brian in the phone. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't save your side piece's picture to her name in your phone players, because anytime she calls you, now your girl not only sees the name, but now she know her face. So if she ever walk past you in the mall, ain't that Brittany who was calling you the other day? So, hey, fellas, change the name of your phone.
You know
Change
what?
your passcode every 2-3 weeks if you're in a relationship, just because. And when she asks you, baby, why you changed it? Man, I watched a documentary on how they steal people's credit information. Hey, listen, keep it moving. If you have a side piece, you only keep your side piece for between 3 to 6 months. That is what she is for, a side piece. You do not have a side piece for 2 and 3 years.
Yeah, but
that's a marriage.
they catch feelings though. They can't help but catching feelings.
Exactly.
All that love making
I ain't catching feelings.
is making catch
I ain't
feelings.
making love to my side piece. I smashed my side piece.
No.
I grabbed my side piece by the hair. I choked my side piece. My woman,
No, you
I
make love
caressed
to the
her.
side piece,
I get
man.
gentle with her.
You got to make love to the side piece, man. That's, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
So
man.
what? No, you said love and side piece.
Oh no.
You don't bring a steak dinner to the Popeyes.
You spend you spend money on the side piece, man. You know what I'm
spend
saying?
a couple dollars on the side piece.
Yeah,
you get her some Nikes, and you get her some earrings, and you take her to Applebee's. And then you take some Marciano's and Cheesecake Factory. What's the difference in the menu?
Boy, you are wildin'. You are wildin' tonight. Listen, let me just make this point while we're on the subject. As we do this show as leaders and hosts, I often wonder how much value this kind of information, is this just entertainment value, or are we teaching people how to pimp? You know what I mean? I don't really want to teach people how to pimp, but the lesson will come out if you happen to be talking about pimping, right? So it's very interesting, dynamic. Not one that I ever really chose to be in. Just said that for the audience. Go ahead, folks.
All right.
Wow.
Now, Crab, see again.
Go ahead.
You said we're going to have to give you a refresher course on this one. Let me help you. We are not teaching people how to pimp.
Okay.
Pimping and being a player is two completely different things.
Okay.
Pimps get money out they females.
Yeah.
Players just playing the game for what it is.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So we're not teaching pimping.
Yeah, but see,
we're not endorsing pimping.
yeah. See,
I'm still saying to my fellas, go out there and handle your business.
listen,
Even when I was talking about my side piece, well, not mine, but somebody else's side piece, Lord Jesus help me.
Yeah.
But somebody else's side piece, what I'm saying is you get her some dollars. You give her cheesecake, Applebee's.
Okay.
Get her some Nikes on sale for $69.99.
Right.
And you make her feel like she's special.
Right.
Your woman, on the other hand, is different.
Wow.
Your woman you wake up to. Your woman you text good morning.
Yeah.
Your side piece you say, I'm on the way.
Right.
It's a difference.
Oh, man.
Your
Well, I
woman
tell you what.
say, baby,
It's-
there's some things I'm going through.
Yeah,
Hey, the job tripping. Your side piece, you put something in her mouth and you say, good, I just had to get this off my chest right quick. It's a difference.
Listen,
Man, we gotta go to break. Y'all buy food.
Y'all go to break before I get X-rated in here, man.
We know this.
Yeah, man, we trying to right now, man. So just relax, Grasshopper. Just relax, Grasshopper.
Oh,
you know what, man? I really want you to contact me once you fall in a deep state of love. You know what I'm saying? Once love just
People in
consumes.
Atlanta, I'm in a relationship.
No, I ain't talking about that, bro. You know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, you will. I'm talking about where your nose wide open for the female. I want you to call me and we're going to have a conversation at that point. I just want to talk to you about a few things, Grasshopper. That's all.
Grasshopper.
Yeah.
Man, you're going to have somebody over here looking at me. Now, again, I'm not condoning cheating. Y'all.
Okay.
Right.
However, it's rules to this. If you gon' cheat, you want to keep your parts to yourself. You don't want to wake up in the morning with a knife to your throat and her with your phone in her hand going, so who is this?
Right.
See, now you done in the game.
Right.
Can't nobody help you.
Yeah.
You should have changed your passcode like I told you every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You should have changed the number in your phone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At least then the most you can say is, hey, yo, babe, why Brian texting you so much?
Yeah.
Man, Brian over here tripping, man. Let me holler at Brian right quick. It must be something with his wife or something. Going to the other room. Hey, yo, girl, I'm going to holler at you in a few minutes, man. Stop calling me like this. You can do that. But if Brittany and her picture pop up on the phone, can't nobody save you. You just
All right.
SOL.
All right. Listen, we have heard
From the great Jamal.
And it is break time for us. We have the good Reverend Dr. Jeffrey coming on next. Jeffrey, I'm not sure Jamal, I'm not sure if you're going to stick around or you want us to call you back.
Man. I'm going to stick around.
That's what's up. We got Jamal in the house
Play this out of film.
the rest of the show.
We're going to get them out after 8 o'clock. We're going to get them on after 8.
So you folks stay tuned. Just a couple of nice grooves, very, very new grooves. Prayed by Sam Smith. Y'all enjoy. We'll be right back with more Bar Talk.
My man Jeffrey on the line. Jeffrey, how you doing today, big baby?
Brother Jay, what the deal is?
Where's that man? Wait, no.
He sound like he might be off today.
We need to know, how was your day at work, first of all?
Brother Crab, what the deal is?
Man, listen, we sit here holding them strong. You know what I'm saying? So just we're always looking forward to your segment, man. How are you tonight, bruh?
Man, I tell you what, it's one of them long days. I had a tire that almost went out on me, but we got that taken care of. Work was a good day at work. It wasn't too bad. My son made it back in town safely, and
Right.
You know what time it is.
Yes, sir.
It is time for you to close your mouth and listen. You ask me some questions, I give you some answers from a man's point of view.
All right.
Now, I got one reason for the habitually single woman, and I got one reason for the habitually single male as to why they might be single, but before we get to that, here is my disclaimer. Now, what I'm going to talk about my last lady, you listen to about you, what I want you to put your foot up in your shoe.
Okay.
But if it does apply to you, I want you to put both feet in both shoes and walk around in them because you're about to learn something tonight. Ladies, you go first.
All right.
Now, ladies, some of y'all might be single because you are inflexible. I need you to understand, you ain't got no flexibility whatsoever. You can meet a man that's established and about business, and you know what? You say he too bossy. You can meet a man that's on the come up, you know, he kind of a stumbling block. He had to start over. You can say, I ain't got no time to struggle with nobody like that. You can meet a man that's a little older. You say he's set in his ways. You mean a man that's a little younger. You say he's immature. You want a microwave man. A man you can just pop in the microwave, put it in for 2-3 minutes, warm it up, and then eat whenever you want to eat. That's not how it works.
Right.
Ladies, I need you to understand something. You are not just the recipient of all the benefits of the relationship. You're going to have to put in some work. You're going to have to compromise. You're going to have to show some flexibility. You're going to have to respect my authority if you're in a relationship with me, because I need you to understand it's about the we, the W-E.
Yes.
Not the you. The Y-O-U. Yes, you're going to be happy. Yes, you're going to be content. Yes, you're going to be satisfied. However, there has to be some reciprocity, baby.
Yes. Woo.
Now, if you're not willing to reciprocate that you have received from me or from brothers like me who deserve to be treated well, guess what? Your ass is going to be single.
For a very long time.
I love to hear him put that point on there. Your
Man,
ass
yeah.
is going to be single.
Yep.
Listen, inflexibility will kill anything, right? Can't go through no part of life being unflexible, right? Being set in your ways. It's got to always be about the we. I mean, what else can be said about that, man?
A lot of people say they like somebody that's strong and firm,
All right?
but you gotta understand what you're really saying.
What comes with that?
Right, because with that, there's no flexibility.
Right.
That person is just one-dimensional, one way.
Yeah.
And if you can't handle that, then you gotta watch what you say.
Yeah.
Because you done spoke up what
Yeah.
you called yourself want. You don't even know what you really want.
Yeah, you don't even know what you want. You asking for something,
And
but you
that's
don't know
why-
what that is, right?
Your ass still silent.
Right. Do your thing, brother
Jerry.
Jeffrey.
Part 2 to this equation.
It's all you, baby.
All right. All right. Now, fellas, don't think I'm letting you off the hook. Fellas, you are next.
Okay.
Brother, some of you might be single because you are not an advocate of change. Don't get it twisted now. You ain't got no clue how to lead yourself. How the hell you gonna lead your family?
Mm-hmm.
You talk about protecting, but you can protect yourself.
Yes.
You talk about doing the necessary things to bring about a change in the community, but you won't get out and do nothing.
Right.
Nah, brother. You got women looking at us thinking, men ain't got our back. Women thinking, we thinking the women always holding up for this guy and that guy, but they ain't got our back.
Right.
I'm telling you this, fellas. Women are looking at us just waiting on us to do something. Waiting on us to show up and show out. I can guarantee you, even the most stubborn woman, even the woman that's just so stuck on her own feminism, she will sit her ass down when a man shows up and he's about business.
Right.
But you're not an agent of change. Matter of fact, you part of the problem.
Woo.
And as long as you're part of the problem, your ass is going to be sick.
Ouchie, ouchie, woo, woo.
Oh man, I mean, he really says something that I believe in, and I'm going to allow myself to be convicted on this one because I probably could be a greater advocate for change, but you know, the change I'm always looking for is me, and I put a lot of pressure on myself, you know, to make sure I continue to grow and continue to be open to life. So I'm just glad that what's happening? Yeah, we got a lady just joined us in the studio. We ain't gonna interrupt the segment here, but how you doing tonight, madam?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We doing great.
Good.
Absolutely good.
Glad you
Yeah.
back in
Listen,
the
we
building.
just got our ass towed up by the good Reverend Dr. Jeffrey. Yeah. He said that we are not advocates of change.
Yeah.
We lounge in our laurels and women are just waiting on a man to show up and show out.
This is true.
That we oftentimes are part of the problem. You know what I mean? And so I mean, I ain't gonna say no more about it.
No, we can let it
Ain't
go.
nothing else to say, right? I
Just let it
received
go.
that, Brother Jeffrey, and I'll let you carry on, good Reverend Doctor.
Okay, now what I need all of our women and all of our men to understand is that we don't have any black women problems in our neighborhoods. We don't have no black male problems in our neighborhoods. We have a black family problem in our neighborhood. I want you to understand what I'm saying now. There are no black women issues out there. There are no black male issues out there. There is one problem in our community, and that's a black family problem, a black community problem.
Yeah.
We got to focus on that one thing right there.
Yeah.
We're trying to do too much. Black women trying to come up, Black men try to come up individually. There is no individual come up. No other society has been successful with one person coming up in the family.
Right.
Everybody's got to come up. So here's what I submit to you men, and I submit to you women. Stop joining these other movements that really using you as a body count, as a signature on a petition or something like that. Bump all that stuff. There is no black feminism anymore. There's no black male Million Man March. None of that stuff no more. There is only the black community and the black family, and that's it. That's our one cause. Because that one cause right there is the solution to everything that plagues us. Every single thing that plagues us. The longer we stay fixed on our own little bitty issues, and I don't mean to diminish them when I say little bitty, they're major, but as long as we keep dealing on those individualized issues, we're going to keep on having the same problem. That's all I got.
Man, that's
everything. That's everything. I mean, that's a drop the mic point right there.
That's growing the community back to where it need to be.
Yeah,
quit being selfish.
We have a black family problem, and he said we have a black family problem, and it is the solution to almost every problem. Not minimizing the other things, but when we solve that, everything else comes together. And I don't think we hear that message enough. You know, when I think about black families becoming strong and overcoming the next decade, century, whatever, the right seeds have to be planted so that black folks start thinking about black families. It's not going to happen by osmosis. It's going to be by the right seed planted, right? It was like the seeds that Dr. King were planting would help build the mindset of a black people even as of today. And so in order to strengthen black families, you got to get each individual, both her and him, to start thinking about being together, to start thinking about having lifetime relationships and exploring long-term love. It takes being inspired by love, I think, in order to grow a family, period. You know, and that means hanging in there when the times get rough. That may mean, you know, more counseling before marriage. That may mean no marriage at all, right? And stop.
After y'all debate last time,
yeah. But
no.
Point well taken. Wow. And so, Brother Jeffrey, we just want to give you the topic for a moment. We got 5 minutes here, and just get your opinion on the subject. It's as simple as this, sir. Your baby, your boo, your husband, your wife is on his or her deathbed, and their side piece walks in. What do you do?
Wait a minute, whoa. I just want to make sure I understand the topic here. My wife is on her deathbed, and the man that she's been sleeping with behind my back walks in.
That dude right there.
Hey, I'm just gonna give it to y'all real. He don't make it up to the damn room. I'm letting you know right now. His ass don't make it up. I don't give a good guy. I almost cut. I'm gonna tell you like this. You know, if she confesses on her deathbed that she's been having an affair with this man and this, that, and the other, and she lets me know who he is and all this other stuff, and she says, you know what? I really want to just be honest with you. This is what happened. I'm sorry. I can't do nothing now because she's getting ready to pass away. I ain't gonna sit there and say, "The hell, no, I ain't gonna be that selfish." Okay. I'm gonna make it as peaceful as she possibly can, for her to transition on. I'm gonna pray with her, pray with the family. I'm gonna forgive her and move forward. Okay. However, he needs to keep his ass downstairs. He can come visit the grave after everybody else has left and pay his respects that way. You know what? If he show up in the church, he better be quiet. He better not stand up and put no memories or no testimony or nothing on that key. I need him to hold it to himself respectfully and respect the marriage that he didn't respect while she was alive. Right. I'm sorry. Almost.
You in your feelings. Say it, my brother.
Listen, I admire that level of passion on the subject.
I feel the same.
I have a tendency to go completely the opposite way, and I'll explain my point maybe in the second half of the show. But you know, you can only respect how a man. I mean, obviously, it's almost like somebody throwing 30 years of dirty laundry in your face all in one moment. And at that moment, you lose all opportunity to get some understanding or to get buy-in. I don't even know what you would be looking for at that point. Once somebody throws that much darkness on you,
you ain't for nothing. You hurt.
You hurt, right? You just hurt. But you throw that on me at the last second, and we've
hurt him.
Yeah, we've all.
You better not come up.
Yeah, Brother Jeffrey even mentioned where there are other kids showing up at the funerals. And the kids that nobody knew about, cousins nobody knew about us. A lot of stuff happens in this way. And if it happens to you, how are you going to deal with it? So that's what we want to talk about tonight in this show. Is what do you do? And of course, Jay and I are gonna give our opinion. And we have Miss AP in the studio
we
tonight.
gotta get her opinion. Lord knows it's gonna come out thuggy.
Style
we already know.
Style overlay. Well, listen, I'm ready to hear some of that tonight.
I know you are.
Brother Jeffrey, I got a lady in the studio who she likes to tag my ass up too.
You might want to keep listening, Jeffrey. It's on tonight.
Yeah, it's on and popping. Definitely go back and listen to it, bro. But listen. We thank you so much for your participation, man. Every week, inside and out, you're always with us, doing it big. And just want to say we are grateful for your time and your effort and all this time we have been together. And so, any parting words for us tonight, man?
Man, just a personal thing. Folks, we got to be aware about our health. My children's mother, my ex-wife, at 40. At 45, had a stroke. So we got to pay attention to our health. I remember when I was little, when there was a stroke victim, there was somebody that was elderly. And I mean 50, 60, 70. 45, a stroke. So we have to take our health very, very seriously because we can't pass down the wisdom that we've gained to the next generation if we're not here.
Right. And a slogan that we're going to put on that is that it is preventable. The stroke is preventable, but it requires some forward thinking, and it requires some change, and it requires some admitting the truth. And I think it's a great point, man. We must be more aware of our health. Thank you, Brother Jeffrey. And
no worries, man. Y'all pray for me. I appreciate everything y'all can do.
Absolutely. And folks, you can see once again we are just on fire. This kind of talk, man, this kind of dialogue, it just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen in most forums. This is reality radio, and this is talking about the real of the real. And so, folks, stay with us. We're going to take another break, and then Jay and I and our guest AP is going to go in on the subject tonight. So, another great cut by Xavier Omar, Grown Woman. Y'all enjoy. We'll be right back.
Y'all stay tuned. Jake about to give it to you from another point of view. I'm just saying. That's my man, Here we go. You got that macaroni and cheese going on, boy. I tell y'all, if y'all ain't know what y'all listening to, all y'all do is stay tuned, because Kraft gonna get you in the mood.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna take you out the mood, because we're gonna talk about this topic real quick, okay? Because y'all got in that love mood, there ain't gonna be no loving on this. If my wife is on her deathbed, I'm like Jeffrey, and she confessed to me that, through all these years, I got somebody else. And he downstairs, okay? I'm a little different than Jeffrey. I ain't gonna pray. I'm gonna wrap that cord that got that heart machine, and I'm gonna tug that, and when he come on up, I'm gonna hand it to him. You fix it. I kept her alive this long. You fix this one.
That's cold.
Oh yeah.
Listen, I had this conversation earlier this week with a friend of mine and her daughter, right? And her daughter says, I posed the subject to her, and she posed the subject to her daughter, and her daughter was like, she's 14 years old. Mm-hmm. She said, pull the plug. Pull the plug, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, pull the plug. A 14-year-old girl who don't really know love like love.
I don't understand the 14, but I can tell you right now. Boo! And then when he come up and be like, oh my God, find a way to save it like you did save a hoe.
Wow.
I mean, you want to come in there like Captain Save? Go ahead, play it. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't going to do all that. And, you know, you did it behind my back, do it in front of me. Go ahead. Do your thing, player.
Hey, listen, I'll be like, step out the way, sir.
Do you? Mouth to mouth. I mean, you're doing it behind my back anyway. Go ahead. They gonna hit me and they were like, what happened? I don't know. Ask him. He the one got the plug.
Wow. And then you framed him for it?
Hey, framed it, yeah.
Hey, I've been watching Lifetime.
Yeah, you've been watching Lifetime.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. And then I watched 48. I'm showing you how to get away with it.
Whoa.
I'm trying to tell you, if I don't do it that way,
Yeah.
I'm gonna wrap around my foot. I swear to God, I'm gonna pull it when I walk out. Talking about, baby, how you one of two ways. I'm just trying to tell you. Might not want to play with me. I don't play right in the sandbox.
So you would. Well, Jay, what about the fact that she's preparing to end her life, going over to the other side? Don't you have any notion to give her a sense of peace and just let her look? It's like halal meats. You know, you don't want the meat to have no stress before it gets slaughtered, right? Before it moves to the other
The
side.
last thing she gonna hear is boo. That's when that machine cut off and everything else. She ain't gonna hear nothing else. She ain't gonna hear me cuss her out. She ain't gonna hear me say you did all this. She don't need to go with no foulness. So I feel like at that point, she need to be at peace.
Okay, listen.
She don't need to hear that machine.
Yeah.
She need to be at peace. She need to be at peace. She don't need to hear all that. And when he run in there, he gonna get a piece of. He gonna get
a piece of the action too. Huh?
Yeah.
You gonna jump on him too?
I mean, she already gone, bro. So it ain't about her. At this point, it's about me and you.
She did it. She did the wrong. Right. Why is he in the wrong?
She took vows with you. He didn't take vows with
Right.
you.
Why you gonna mess with him?
He ain't gonna take no vows.
Why?
Because that's what I want to do.
I've never understood that.
I don't care.
I've
I'm
never
an alpha
understood
male.
You gonna whoop his ass and he ain't did nothing yet.
Hey, it's a hospital. They can help him afterwards. It's not like I'm being selfish. When I get done, I'm gonna be nurse. He can get attended to. I don't want him to die, but he gonna have to feel something.
Wow.
I feel something. I'm gonna relieve him. Hey, collateral damage.
Collateral damage.
You did this behind my back, and you expect.
And what's the meaning of collateral damage again?
Acceptable loss.
Acceptable loss.
So when I pull that glove, hand it to him, it's gonna be acceptable losses. Don't play with me. I ain't playing with you. Like I said, I don't play right in the sandbox, baby. I'm just trying to tell you.
Okay, listen. I don't want to move. I don't want to move out of the subject. This is going to be a part of the subject. Okay. So she's dead, right? Either from the plug being pulled, she might have could have came out of that coma.
Oh well.
You know what I'm saying? The Lord can do many great things, right?
And I just helped out his work.
Now
put some hands on the other.
So she's dead. You don't whoop the man. Now what?
What you mean now what? Walk my ass about it. Ain't no need sticking around. When would stay around and get arrested? My whole thing is it's already set up. When he fell down.
Premeditation.
No, it's not really.
Hey,
Hold on, framing.
Hey, listen.
He fell on the plug.
I
mean, he's the one that was messing behind my back. If he fell out, pulled the cord by accident, wasn't my fault. I overreacted when I found out something that was going on for a very long time. I didn't handle that portion of it well. I will admit that portion. But when it comes to the rest, hey, it is what it is.
I think you're going
like
to
I say,
sale with Bill Cosby.
Hey, all I can tell y'all, if y'all mad at me, be mad at Lifetime, Snap.
Okay.
There's a lot of TV shows that's going on these days that's putting a lot of nasty things in people's heads. My whole thing is, it is what it is.
Oh, and he was smart enough to put the legal disclaimer.
There you go. Come on out.
Oh my God.
So, if you don't want this to happen, don't do these things. Now you don't want to be pulling the plug,
Cause and effect. Right. So let's hear from AP. Hey, please tell us how you feel on the subject.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Like it's gonna get better. Okay.
All
y'all prepare. Put your seatbelt on.
I'm sitting down.
No. I mean, so because I initially the way your question read, it was
he or she,
they.
Right.
And so I looked at that word and I was like, okay, so he didn't say life partner, he didn't say husband or wife, he said they. So, I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I got a couple bays.
I told you.
You know, so when you say they,
right,
you really there's no room for you to get upset anywhere.
Okay. Okay.
Because
Yeah,
there was
babe, no.
there was no partnership agreement. There was
Right.
no marriage. There was no. So I was just a babe. So
Right.
it would not have behooved me to assume that I was the only babe.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
So I
Fair
like
enough.
that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So I was like, yeah, you at least she waited her turn. Like she didn't come in cussing and fussing.
Right.
Apparently he prepped her and she knew that she was at least the ace.
Okay. Ooh.
So
Okay.
she know her place.
Right.
She came in
Yeah,
with like, hey, I
absolutely.
just want to make myself present, my presence known. Just whenever you get finished, boo boo, just I'd like to pay my respects. Okay, cool. Well, he prepped her, so
Okay.
he had at least that much respect,
I told you.
and she had enough respect.
Yeah, my bae is gonna know what time it is. She gonna know the answer before I
Babes.
even ask the question.
I don't know.
so
2
listen.
weeks ago, you didn't want nobody to ask you what we was doing, so
Oh!
I don't know.
Shit, shot fired. Shots fired. Shots fired. Duck,
I
everybody.
don't know how she gonna know if y'all ain't talking
What?
about it, but okay.
Machine gun fire. Duck. What y'all know on the? Y'all know when it's shots fired. Y'all know to get down low. Y'all acting real unblack and shit. It was what? Where? Really? Where they do that at?
I don't know.
Only reason we ain't run because the room's small. Cause you know we get the heck on quick. Flat out. Boy, stop. But I love it when she said baby, because one of the things I threw out was wifey because Jeffrey went that direction.
Yeah.
Babe wise, I'm not gonna lie. If it's a babe and it's a girlfriend, she laying there and sniffing, or somebody else she was messing with come in. I'm really a humble guy. I'm not that dude that's gonna be a Brutus and be like, oh no. Ain't no team to take ownership over some situation. I ain't take ownership when we was together.
Right.
So you can't be that big man now just because you're on the deathbed. I will console her and make sure she passed on safely. And the best I can, but again, I will allow another person to take that time as well. So I will step back on that situation because again, to me, I didn't step up. By me not stepping up, I don't feel like I have a place that I can start taking over
Right.
when I didn't take over when she initially probably wanted me to, but we didn't agree to, so I stick with the agreement. So I will comfort her, I will pray for her, and when the other person come in, I will leave. Peacefully.
Bathroom break.
You know, but then it's a bathroom break. I will give them whatever time they need because
But the
again,
wife-
I don't want to make.
But the wife, you would go off.
Well, remember the wife is telling me again that it's a bust of ego. I ain't knowing. Yeah, you thought you was a man, but
You thought you was hitting it. but-
Jeffrey downstairs was taking care of me.
Yeah.
Okay, why you thought you was the man? He was down, and he gonna come up here and see me before I go on. Oh, you going a lot quicker now, player. Okay, since you gave me all that, tell you what, with your little smart, okay, that's all that. And when he come on up there, hand him the plug. There you go. He gonna what's this? Bow.
So let's talk around the subject a little bit. There's a certain place here to talk about people who are getting ready to transition, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe your spouse has a terminal illness. They ask you for something out of the box in their last weeks, last days. I don't know what some of those things could be that would offend you, but would you grant it to them?
Hold on, before
You know what I mean?
Before I answer that,
It's like a Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Hold on.
It's like, yeah.
Before I answer that, I think we still got Barb on the
that's
line.
what it- I think it's-
If your man is on his deathbed and he wants some titties in his face, get some titties in his face.
Put
You
some
know what I'm
titties
saying?
in his
Like,
face.
put
It ain't no
some
big
titties in
deal,
his face.
right?
It's not a big deal.
It's not a big
Oh,
deal,
that big?
right?
He's getting ready to transition.
Just
Yeah.
stick it in his mouth.
Yeah, put it, let him
this-
have a
this suck on this,
threesome. Let him, you know what I'm saying?
Pass on this, suck on.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the last wish.
Yeah, and there's something for honoring those who are about to make their transition. Give them
I ain't
the last
gonna lie,
wish.
my last wish is gonna be more than titty.
Yeah, and you know.
I
Listen, you know
You better
that.
get it before I go. That's horrible.
Listen, what is that gonna be
You
beyond
better
titties? Plug that back in. I'm sorry.
I mean, my last wish is gonna be some good wishes.
Yeah.
All right. I think we got Barb on. I know I'm gonna throw another woman's voice and opinion in here. Barb, what you got to say on this one?
Well, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about the scenario about Bay and his side chick.
Okay.
So if Bay had these certain friends, side chick would never make it in to be able to see him
Why?
at all.
Why?
Because the little pimp group or whatever they call themselves will make sure she doesn't show in. But me personally, I feel like this: if I had a babe and he was on his deathbed and he showed up, I would be the bigger person.
There you go.
I would let her show her respect and say whatever she had to say. I mean, because evidently she knew him just as well as I did. So I feel as though right is right, and we should both have our say and be through it.
You know,
as you say, unite with one another.
Barb, that is wonderful for the air. This is bar talk. You know damn well you're gonna be whooping some ass. She's sitting there all the. It's okay, Barb. I like it. It was a genuine, and I know that's what society would normally say. I got you, girl. But put the boxing glove on.
Jeremiah, that is not true.
Okay, put the Vaseline on that forehead. Take the earrings out.
I'm gonna give you true facts.
What's that?
I've had they on a deathbed, and the side he showed up. I didn't show I didn't cuss, I didn't fuss, I didn't fight. The Lord told me to be a better person, and that's what I did.
There you go. But
Did
you really care for him though at that point? I mean, was you still feeling him?
It was brotherly love. It
Yeah,
was
it love? I mean, did you look at him and you still wanted him? You know what I'm saying? Was he still tapping it? Was he beating it? Oh, I'm getting a little happy. Anyway.
Oh, Lord.
You didn't do that, he would just be back. Okay. So that's why you didn't do all that. Okay. We got some facts after that alone. Right. So I tell you, when we talk at Bar Talk, we release some things, okay? Bottom line is to pour it out, because if you don't communicate, you will never know. This might not happen to you. We don't want it to be you, but if it do, we can get you through. That's what I do.
So it rhymed to the end.
Yeah. So
it's always on time.
You're on your deathbed, right, Jay?
Right.
And this is probably highly likely, right?
Okay.
You're on your deathbed, and your wife of 20 years, sitting there with you, and a side piece walk in.
Okay.
What do you say to your wife? Exactly.
Oh, you got a clean voice.
You get like,
yeah.
Now see what happened was. Now see, it's a time in your life that you got to realize some things. If it's my wife, and I've been honest, because I do believe in being more honest, she would have known more about what I was doing. Back in my past, she would have known nothing, and she probably would have went on ahead, pulled the plug, or beat on me, or whatever. Because again, I put myself in bad situations when I was younger.
Right.
Now I got a little wiser. Now being wise, no one wants to accept the truth ever. Okay, the bottom line though, you got to be a bigger person.
Right.
And if you don't live that way and you are doing some things and you let her know, it can go off a lot easier.
Right.
To me, it's up to you what you want to do. But you got to be honest, and you got to live in a way that's going to be respectful, or it's going to come back on you.
Yeah.
But that's you. Now me, I will tell you that's why I'm not in a committed relationship. Because if I'm not there, then don't commit and play a game that you know you're not going to play fair or right. It makes a disadvantage, and it makes an angry situation.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to lie, as a married man, that's not what, if I was married, it wouldn't be a side piece. It wasn't going to be nobody else but my kids. And it might be some people that listen to me and follow me and care for me. But they ain't going to come up and disrespect me, because I've never disrespected anybody in any relationship I've been in. And that's the same thing I respect if I'm about to die. Ain't nobody going to be in there acting the fool. Doesn't make no sense. I've never showed you no disrespect.
Right.
Because I don't want disrespect. You got to live how you walk.
Right.
And the problem is you disrespecting, you calling women thoughts and all the rest of this, but then you expect everything to be peaceful. That's why everybody tearing up at the end. Be real.
Yeah.
Talk with Jay. Y'all didn't want to hear the sidebar that was going on. Woo! Only thing I can tell you, it depends on who's singing it. We are back, and again, we got the guy that looked like him, that wasn't him. That's my boy Jamal. We on the line with him as well. But before we bring Jamal back on, I was looking on the Facebook, and there's other situations that we want to make sure we're clear on. The reason we say bae on the upfront is I never know where you're sitting. And you know, you have some relationships that have multiple people.
Yeah.
Polygamous, you got people that got multiple marriages.
Side chicks.
And side chicks and the rest.
Yeah.
And I don't want to assault no one. So a lot of times they'd be like, well, why don't you just say wife? Well, that is making it channel one direction. This is the conversation. This is like what you sit down and pour out. And truthfully, I can't just pour out one way. I never know what I'm going to be facing. The bottom line, I am to hear what you got to say. And I am not to change you. It is for me to reflect what you do.
Right.
Change is up to you. Power is already you.
Right.
I am a person that's not willing to give you just advice. I am a person that's going to reflect back to what you say. And that's going to help you more so than my personal opinion, because truthfully, that's all it is. It takes you to talk your way out because it took you to get in.
Right.
That's how we fix things. And that's what's going to help us more so than condemn us.
Absolutely.
And that's what this show is all about. So, Jamal, I see you want to jump back in here. You got some more thoughts on this situation?
Alright, man. So, again, I say, if my woman was on her deathbed and her side piece came in, I'm looking at him. And I'm just waiting to see, well, since she dead and her side piece came in, is that the perfect time to tell about mine? Oh, well, your side piece? I ain't mad at you. Did I tell you I got 2 other kids you ain't know about? He'll wipe out the night. Hey, we tit for tat. Hey, you going out like that, I'm going out like this. Get even. Or
My God.
if you just play it cool, hey man, good looking. You just kicked in on a couple of bills. I appreciate that. We see you at the wake. You can't come to the funeral. I mean, I really couldn't nobody tell you what they'll do until they in that situation. I can make all types of jokes about what I would not do, but to be honest, if I'm on my way out, guess what?
What?
You ain't really finna argue with me.
That's a good
You
point.
can argue with them.
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody in the family had to know, so I guess you're gonna be mad at cousin Fred and them for not telling you what was going on, but I mean, what you gonna do? Yell at me? Oh, I'm in trouble? You gonna put me on the couch in my last dying days? Like,
Right.
really? Come on.
Right. See, I think this conversation is about giving people their space or a get out of jail free card. Because, you know, when somebody about to die, you like, okay, you cheated. You know, you gotta find a way. You gotta find a way to overcome it. But it's really about the opportunity of giving people that opportunity to just do them. Let's say, for example, husband and wife, family, everything's lovely. Wife travels, right? And wife travels, and you know, it's just a long day. It's been a long night. Nobody knows that the co-worker's cute and been buying lunch and shit. You know what I'm saying? So all of a sudden, she just has her moment, right? She has her moment,
Right.
and you know, somehow or another, a few days later, a few years later, he finds out. Right? Now, you can tear up the block on that. You can tear up and destroy everything at that very moment. You can destroy all the memories, just like we do with Bill Cosby. You can destroy all the memories. You can destroy all the good works. You can destroy everything in that moment when she needed something that probably took less than an hour. And maybe 2 if Crap Matter was around that program. You know what I'm saying?
You did a little plug in there, didn't you? Little plug in there. We know Crab don't go quick.
Listen, I could have said minutes, but I didn't say that. I'm trying to give
hours, player.
I'm trying to give
hours.
Perhaps, okay? All I'm saying is that are you going to throw all that you had away because of those moments that she needed for herself or that he needed for himself?
You put in 2 hours on my girl. I gave her 30 minutes. Yeah, you need. That's why you gonna get whooped. You gave her 2 hours. You gonna take a 20-minute behind whooping. This joke, Bartok.
I got issues.
Hold off, fellas, but I actually got a real response for that one.
Okay.
Okay.
Because you present some great points now. Number one, whenever women cheat, it is never physical. Always emotional.
Right.
Women are always going to be more loyal than men, period.
Right.
If I had to do a crime, I'm doing it with a woman first. Because I know she not going to snitch unless I cross her.
Right.
Men cross you because, hey, you might made a bigger cut than me. A woman will stay loyal no matter what. I pick a woman's side. So if she cheat, I guarantee her man did not or ain't providing some type of need one direction or another. Period. Nobody's going to debate me on that. Women do not just smash just to smash. It just, I just don't know. I'm sorry. Even in Lifetime.
Nah.
Lifetime got nothing but movies. Women cheat for emotional reasons.
Yeah,
Point blank, period.
yeah,
Not gonna be.
they do cheat for emotional reasons, but there'd be a whole lot of emotions happening in a very short period of time.
Right.
So I'm not sure how deep those emotions. Those emotions might be, hey, I just need to get my swag on, I need to get my swerve on, I need to get my switch hit. But there ain't too many emotions when I meet you in the club.
Look to get her swerve on. If a woman got her man at home taking care of the kids and all that la 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 la, and he's emotionally, romantically, and all that la 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 la, she'll close her legs and wait till she get home. But if there's a gap that she's missing, if it's a week, a month, or whatever, she gonna find it somewhere else. Now I will say this: it ain't cheating unless you get caught. I'm sorry, no, it's not. And as long as I don't know,
Anything just shy of a lie is all
happen.
right.
Like if you went and robbed the bank today and I never find out, I don't care. You ain't do it as far as I'm concerned. And I'm gonna say that. Your woman is not gonna get mad at you until you break her trust. You only break her trust when she found out you lied. If she never found out, you was still talking to her the same way you was doing on Wednesday and Thursday and every other day.
You know, man, every time you pose those scenarios like that, man, you never put yourself in her shoes. Like it's almost like you can't identify with her. Like that's a slap in the face.
All right, let me think.
For real, you know?
What, to identify with the woman's point of view is to accept the fact that she got cheated on. Okay, if she gets cheated on and she finds out, then yes, you can be upset. If a man gets cheated on and he finds out, then yeah, you can be upset. If your woman stops giving you attention and is giving it, yeah, then you get upset. But as long as that woman or that man is loving you and doing everything else, as long as he's paying the bills, he's coming home every night, he's there 9 to 5, like he's doing everything he's supposed to.
That's what you're saying.
Questioning him.
If he handles his business, he can cheat.
If he handles his business, that man can go rob 10 banks as long as he comes back home every night and pay the bills. And he satisfies me and takes me out. Well, see, that's if I was a woman. Let me clarify that. If my woman, thank you God, Jesus, it's Atlanta, you never know who listening, they'll take that the whole wrong way.
No, you on a worldwide stage now, baby.
Over there in Europe, they're like, oh my goodness.
Listen, they gonna be like, wait, he said he got nothing. I ain't say none of that. They said think for a woman. That's about the best I can think for a woman. And me as a player, all the way player, that's just what I believe is player. If my woman, I find out she's cheating, guess what?
What?
I had to do something that made her open that door. I did something that broke her trust. I did something where somebody was providing a better stroke than me. I wasn't watching my videos and my learning techniques. I wasn't controlling my breathing. There was something I was lacking.
Hey, man, I think that's, we've all considered that a valid point in regards to cheating.
Crap.
But you cannot take the place of the significant thrill one gets when they go cheating with somebody else. They oftentimes, I think a lot of times, don't mean to do it, but they get caught up. That extra drink, that,
Hold on, fellas. We got a female here. Let a female speak. What you got?
Women don't have accidental.
Hold on, talk.
Hold up.
For you all in 2018 to think that from the time that I got my cycle, I have not been getting, and my boobs started sprouting, I have not been getting offered dick at least 3 times a day. If you think for one Neanderthal second that a chick is not just gonna fuck around on you because she's curious about how this nigga fucks, like, you have lost your mind.
Right.
you have lost your mind.
That's right. Listen.
Like you have lost, like literally,
Yes.
literally on my worst day,
Yeah.
I have had a cold snot coming out of one nostril, standing in line at Walgreens.
Yes.
And I got offered dick at least 2 times.
Yeah.
Like,
And
I'm just,
listen.
so like for you to think that it's dudes out
blow your
here,
nose, baby. I blow your
right?
nose.
It's like for you to think that for 1 second that a chick is not just gonna like you could be paying all the bills.
Hold on, one at a time. Hold on, Jamal, hold up.
Hold
So
on.
yeah, you could be paying all the bills. Everything could be right.
Right.
Everything could be right at home.
Right.
But I'm looking at old boy who walks past my office window every day to go to the gym.
Right.
And he been putting in good leg days. Like
Right.
and I'm thinking about putting this dude in a 3-point stance. Like
Right.
let's get it in.
Right.
If you don't think that chicks just
Wait,
fuck around because we just want to see what it would be like to tap that A quality trim, you have
Yeah.
lost your mind.
Listen.
It's
And listen.
2018.
And listen. And yeah, it's 2018. And he know that. He knows that. He does know. He already knows that. He gets it because they are many a victim of him. You know what I'm saying? Many. You know what I'm saying? Many. He has victimized the many of them. I know he has, Jamal. You know what I'm saying?
Is he bleeding to death yet?
Oh, help.
Yeah, we know how it happens. Listen, I had some buddies of mine, right, who took a lot of pride in just seeing what could be accomplished in an average Tuesday, Thursday grocery store run.
Mm-hmm.
And the odds were very high of success. And you can take somebody, a beautiful woman, any, old, young, whatever, she meets somebody she vibe with in that moment. Just take them out of the, admission line, what I'm saying, college. You know what I'm saying, what you doing the rest of the day? Let's go back, open them up, you have a drink, you have a great time, But, they go way beyond emotions, you know what I'm saying? Now, if you're talking about somebody in a committed long-term relationship, yeah, there will be some boxes unchecked. There will be some opportunity areas for him. Maybe he doesn't spend enough time. Maybe he doesn't nurture her enough. Maybe he doesn't buy her enough stuff. Who knows? And you'll never be able to fix that. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I might have did some things wrong, but I couldn't fix the fact that you really just, gave up and had to go get you, some extra. So, and I'm not going to take any ownership for somebody cheating.
Can I jump in now? I'm ready to go toe to toe with the female.
I just think that.
Hold on, one second.
I think this.
Y'all ain't gonna let me go?
Hold on.
Because here's the thing, when the relationship gets long, everybody puts the onus on the woman. Oh, you gotta wear lingerie to bed. Oh, you gotta do this. Oh, you gotta do that. Do you honestly think you bringing the same dick and balls to the bed every night is like really doing it for me after the 3rd month? Like you don't even gift wrap it. Like you don't do nothing with it. Like here's the thing: if your girl gets in the next position that you were just thinking about, your dick game has gotten boring because she knows your routine. She's like, okay, he's getting ready to come.
Now we're gonna have fun.
So it's like you gotta switch it up. Like even if it's just if y'all like. Don't fuck me in the bed. Like that is so
can I go
boring.
toe to toe
Okay,
now with this
like
thing?
you're
If
like
she's talking like I like.
switch it up. Like you gotta switch it up. I don't know why y'all think that chicks are like these Joan Cleavers, like vacuuming the floor in heels, and we're just whenever he gets ready. No, come home, pull my hair, let's go do it in the pantry. And I don't know, but you gotta switch it up. You as the man, you have to switch it up.
Okay.
We getting game, y'all. Listen, right now.
I like to hear that. I love to hear that.
Talking.
What you got?
Thank you. Y'all gonna talk to me because this is sweetheart. How you doing? how you doing?
I'm fine.
Now I'm gonna make this fun and fair because you proved a lot of points, and I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the cornballs. Okay? There are a lot of cornballs out here that can use help, and they gonna take craft advice and they gonna mess around, and they. Crap, you're teaching them how to be nice in a deep man's pool. It's not gonna work like that, okay? You heard old girl right now, she said she need a hair pull, stop doing the same routine and get bored. She gonna mess around and cheat with somebody like me. Not like me, but you know what I'm saying? Okay, now this is what I'm gonna tell y'all, cornball. Don't listen to Kraft. Don't try to be nice. Cheating on your side piece is 3 to 6 months. Rule number one, everybody puts the best fake version of themselves on in the first 3 months.
That's why you always sit
So you
back
got
and wait.
between then and the next 3 months where she actually starts seeing you from time to time before she gets the attitude. You don't date your side piece. You have her for the fun that she is. You keep it rocking. Because that's when your woman is going to kill you. Is when she finds out you got emotionally connected to another female and you ain't taking care of what she needs to take care of at home. That's when it's a problem. That's when you get caught. That's when she goes through your phone. Cornballs, pay attention. You heard old girls say you got to be spontaneous with it.
Right.
We know they know our moves after the third time, fellas.
Right.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I advise y'all watch the videos, X videos, and Pornhub. It's not porn. It's educational documentaries to help with breathing techniques. Okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, fellas,
And
if you've never done this, try these 3 different things. It will save your relationship from me or somebody like me. If you don't take your girl on a Saturday morning, no reason at all, get in the car with your woman. And when she say, baby, where are we going? Y'all on 75, 85, just driving. And you just say, baby, I just want to chill, romance with you a little bit, talk with you a little bit. Yeah, that's going to be real cute. And then you pull off somewhere and you just tongue your girl down. And I don't mean on her lips. Up top.
Mm-hmm.
Hit her with some spontaneous D.
Yeah.
Hit her in the parking lot of a hotel on the road trip just to say, what's happening?
Right.
You know, I couldn't even wait till we got to the house. I had to get that.
Right.
Make it so much fun that it goes beyond the bedroom.
That's facts. That's facts.
Take her to a wine and paint exhibit where y'all both painting live nude models, or y'all doing some ghost stuff with Patrick Swayze and, modeling some clay or something. Get your hands dirty with your woman and learn her senses, because it's a dude like me that's taking advantage of everything y'all not doing.
Yeah, and listen,
And I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, let me tell you what I'm hearing here, that a lot of the cheating is preventable,
It is.
right? We talked about it with health, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of the cheating, you can prevent cheating. You can prevent your eyes, your spouse's significant other's eyes and mind from going outside. You can add to
Here's the
it.
thing. Here's the thing. I will always
You said you
appreciate
got
a
presented
very
with it at
good
least
form.
3 times a day, if not more, right?
Hold on.
I will always appreciate a male form that is my type, that I am sexually attracted to. Like, I'll be the 90-year-old woman in the nursing home, like tweaking nurses' asses. Like, that's who I'll be.
Right.
But so I mean, I can be with a 6'8" dude and that's my type, and see another 6'8" dude and be like, oh, he's nice too. Like, that's just, I'm gonna always appreciate that, but you do it in a respectful manner,
Right.
so that you're not disrespecting the person that you're with. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
And that's
It doesn't. Being sexually satisfied at home doesn't mean that my eye is still not gonna want. Like, number one, I'm a Libra, so we appreciate beauty. Period.
all eyes are gonna want.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the type, and it's all
Let her
types.
go.
If I'm with a dude and I see a chick with a big ass, I'm like, do you see her ass? Her
Yeah.
ass is huge.
Yeah.
Like, I just
now you might-
appreciate
okay.
what
That's
it is
we
and
got.
where it is.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna quail that per se.
Right.
But it will definitely keep your sexual relationship at home with that.
And that's what I'm
particular
talking
person.
about.
Spicy
Yeah.
and not
Hey,
boring.
listen, it is time for us to go to break.
Gotta
folks.
go to
Let-
break.
Give
Stay
us
there, Jamal.
Give us
We'll be
just
right
a
back.
moment, man. We'll be right back after this song, and we're gonna do a nice wrap up in the next 15
I don't know
20
about
minutes.
nice.
Y'all bear with us.
Y'all been listening. I just want y'all to know. There's an old school saying. It's not to be told, it is to be sold. All right?
Okay.
And what's being told tonight, a lot of people say this needs to be sold. It's not always being sold correctly. We're not trying to promote it. And I ain't trying
We're
to
not trying
sell
to
it.
promote cheating. Right?
No, I'm not trying to promote it. My whole
Right.
thing is,
Right.
we know it happens.
It's real.
So if we don't talk about it, then we won't evolve out of it.
Right.
A lot of times we want to hide behind it, like with masturbation on the last show. If you don't talk about it, you won't progress forward. You just be hidden.
Right.
Or there's a lot of hidden secrets, and that's another thing that came out with this show.
Yeah.
Laying on your deathbed, and all of a sudden, all the kids that you didn't want to talk about, all of a sudden you want to mention them now.
Right.
Before you go, one of the things you might want to do is fix your whole attitude.
Yeah.
Why would you wait till the very end? You're doing it just, to me, a bad justice to your own kids.
Yeah. You know, I'd like to, just for us to brainstorm for a moment, what are some other scenarios that are equivalent to this? Where it's kind of like, you know, the last moment, the last segment. You know, I don't know. I guess there are many spouses who find out their spouse are gay. Yeah.
That's wrong. Why you never bring that up?
I think it happens a lot. It happens a lot in the world. They, and they probably all, you know, could see it a long time ago.
Maybe that's the women that want to holler at me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Listen, man.
I'm thinking.
I want to have fun with old girl because she was having too much fun, and I think the cornball still needs some more advice.
I think we need to get some ideas on the table about how this applies to like some other subjects, because there are many of them. Kids showing up at funerals, knocking on doors.
This is true. I mean, and that's not something that is new. Like, people show up to funerals, and you know, you find out someone has an entire family.
Yeah.
At a funeral when you're supposed to be.
And you think about it, that's not unheard of way back in the day.
Yeah.
And it's still happening today.
Listen, and what about kids knocking on your parents' door at age 25?
Mm-hmm.
You never met them before. You know what I mean? And you knock on the door like, "Hey, I'm your son. Your son from where? From Cincinnati."
Let me just ask this simple question with that simple comment. If that woman really loves you, just point blank period. Unfortunately for women, y'all can't surprise us with a baby and it shows 25 years later and we've been together 26. Men can do that, unfortunately.
Right.
So let's just think about it. Women, that man does show up with, you know, by the way, I got another kid. And you see that kid. You love that man. Are you going to tell that man you're not going to have contact with the child that yours? No, she's going to be upset. She's going to be hurt.
Right.
But does that negate the 25 years of love and commitment and everything else that he's done with you?
There you go.
Does that throw everything out the window?
There you go.
She's going to be mad and hurt for the time period, especially if she can't have kids and when you have one on the way. Yeah, it's going to hurt. But when she sees that child and sees you with that child, is she going to turn that child away?
Yeah. Yeah. And listen, and another subject. I recall working with a partner for, you know, we were in business for like 5 years together. And I didn't find out literally until he handed me the last set of the checkbooks and all the corporate documentation. And I realized that he'd been pulling money out of the company for years. And I didn't even know it.
That's called a beatdown.
And I thought we were right. That's what you call a real shootout right there. But there's another one of those end of the, you know, or finding out your brother or your sister had sex with your spouse years ago. Or finding out that your neighbor.
My brother smashing my wife is just wrong. Me smashing your sister? I don't know if that's really that bad. I mean, I think you can get
Nasty.
Yeah.
That is nasty.
Yeah, I mean, you know, listen. The point that I think I'd like to make overall in this discussion is that there's going to be times where major news, perhaps bad news, catches you way off guard. And you know, you're going to discover that your spouse or your significant other or girlfriend had been cheating. And the question is, what are you going to do? How are you going to respond to that? And we're not attempting to tell you how to respond, but we just shared our opinions here on the show tonight, and some ways that we might look at the situation. But I'm of the proponent. I never gave my my answer for this show, but I'm of the notion I take things in quickly. I process very quickly. And so if I have an accident, 10 minutes later after the accident, I'm thinking about my new car. I'm already excited about my new car. I ain't even worried. As long as ain't nobody hurt, I'm going on to the next level. And it probably took me, you know, a couple of years for my wife of 10 years to realize that, hey, this is what happened, this is why it happened, and all that other good stuff. But we have to learn to receive those types of messages and that information. We have to learn to receive it, process it, and move on. Because there are people whose whole lives, they'll feel like their whole lives were ruined after that. You find out your spouse has been cheating for 30 years, 20 years, or he had a side chick. You're going to question everything. And the
Yeah,
most
for 30
important
years,
part of the
I'm
equation is healing,
absolutely.
right? Huh?
If you say my woman got a side piece for 30 years, yes, I'm gonna question a lot of things about it.
Yeah, you're gonna question
Again, I
everything.
go back to-
Yeah, but I don't believe that one should potentially go to prison because they try to internalize some information and kill somebody. I don't even believe in that process. I don't believe that there's anything that you could do per se that would cause me to just wild out and bust you across the head with a bottle and want to shoot you and stab you and kill you. I don't even think that far because nothing is that important.
Only thing I can say is normally you are correct. But if you mess with my kids,
If you mess with my kids,
I'm
yeah.
just saying.
There's certain reasons
Yeah.
that can make me bust you over the head with the bottle in front of everybody. Like number one, if you brought my child around your side piece, I'm gonna bust you and his head.
Yeah.
If
But
you was
see, it
in
ain't
my
all
house
that. It ain't
with
all
your
that. It
side
ain't worth
piece,
going to prison.
I'ma
What if you kill him?
y'all in my house and go to bed right next to y'all, like and push y'all out the bed on the side of the floor and just wait till the
You
police
sound
come and say, "Can you get
crazy.
the trash out?"
Yeah.
Like, there's certain reasons to kill you. Put
Jamal,
cornrows. Can I put
24 and
cornrows
snap.
in there?
Yeah.
Don't watch him.
Yeah.
no
What
more.
about finding out that your daughter or your auntie or your mama was a prostitute or had been on drugs for many years?
You don't get upset at those people. You would help them. You love them more.
Right.
You say, "Baby, I know there's something that you're missing." If my daughter was a prostitute, I failed as a father in life.
Right.
If my mama was a prostitute, mama, thank you for paying the bills, but your son's gonna take care of you now,
Right.
auntie. What your ex-husband do that you ain't tell me about? You know what I mean? Players.
And that's the flip of the script.
Yeah,
I like how you
a
flip
lot.
it
Listen,
again.
and what is happening in the world now? This is a major subject in the world. There are a lot of old bones coming out of the closet, right? Yeah, we talked a few weeks ago. There is 24,000 sealed indictments that President Trump is holding, and he's asking congressmen and senators and mayors and city officials to step down. You cannot run for office again. So now you got a guy holding people's dirt against them, and he's going to change the entire power of democracy by doing this, because now you got new leaders in there. Now you got your boys in there. Now you got your budgets in their hands and your people's hands. We're talking about a major swing in politics, but when it happens in our own lives, all I'm saying is just we got to figure out a way to deal with them, because you're going to have a few of those. I think everybody's designed to get some bad news, and how you deal with it. Maybe losing a loved one sometimes, can be a big hardship. You're preparing to be a great athlete. You're in college and you break your ankle or you hurt your hip or you got to have some surgery, and now you can't do that anymore. Right now you can't be that athlete. Now you can't be, you mess around to get someone pregnant, and now you can't go to medical school because you got to take care of your child. That we're all experiencing a lot of major events in life that cause us to really have to respond in some way or another. We're asking you to respond consciously, right? Because if you respond unconsciously, you blow everything. It's like the husband who has a fight with his wife, and he goes out and sits at a bar and he drinks. He gets a little bit too drunk, and next thing you know, he's in an accident on the way home, drunk driving. He killed somebody. He got killed, all because he acted unconsciously. He thought that next drink was going to soothe his pain, and it didn't. We got to be conscious. And if that's the point that I bring throughout the entire discussion, is that there is never a time, well, there's only a few times to just straight go off. Everything else needs a calculated response. That's the way real life works, and that's how you move on to tomorrow's and overcome today's.
All right, well, we gotta ask AP what's her feelings real quick, and then I'm gonna get Jamal in, and then I'm gonna go ahead, because we gotta get out. So AP, what's your thoughts? I mean, because my boy right here gave his. I gotta get yours in real quick. What you got?
I think that getting back to the topic, to the question that we had, I think that it all goes back to having that open, honest communication with your spouse. And I think that it goes back to the person receiving that. My grandmother had a saying, and she said, when a person shows you who they are, believe them the first time. the first time.
Yeah.
Like, don't make excuses for people.
Yeah.
Don't make excuses for the situation. It is what it is.
Right.
And if you're in any type of relationship with anyone, there has to be some level of trust and respect there, because it's a relationship of some type.
Right.
And so you need to afford that person that open, honest communication to ensure that everybody knows what they're getting into.
Right.
And therefore everybody stays on the same page.
Listen, we've heard that message for thousands of years and nobody's doing it. What is the problem?
I have no idea.
Nobody's doing it. Nobody's being open.
I'm gonna
People
take
are
that
not
back.
communicating.
I do know what the problem is. The problem is that we are brought up to, well, don't say that because you're gonna hurt somebody's feelings. And so I think that, and I'm generalizing, I'm not saying this is the only reason for that, but
Right.
what I'm thinking is that people have, they walk around on eggshells. They stay in relationships, they stay in marriages, they get married when they don't want to, all because they don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. And I'm sorry, you gotta be your MVP.
Yes.
You need to know, and
MVPs,
you know what I'm saying. And
yeah.
it's not about being selfish; it's about having self-worth. Those being selfish and having self-worth are two totally different things, and I think people get them convoluted all the time, just like they get confidence and being cocky convoluted.
Right.
It is two totally different things.
Right.
When I, as a woman, have certain standards, certain expectations of the man who I want to be with, vice versa, men have a list of standards and expectations of the woman that they want to be with.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put your ego in it. If you meet somebody and you really feel in them and they check off all the boxes on your list, but you don't check off all the boxes on theirs, why is it automatically taken personally? Like, there's an amount of self-worth there that you have, like, okay, well, we didn't match. Okay, cool, let's move on.
Right.
Like, don't take it personally. It's not about you. It's about the fact that I have this list. You have your list.
Right.
Let's just go find people who we're compatible with.
Okay.
And don't try to change people.
Right.
Like, I'm the type of person, look, you need to find who is good for you. I'm gonna find who's good for me, and then we're gonna be good. We're gonna be good.
But listen, out of a quote unquote 100 marriages, the statistics would say 50% of those people will make the decision to go the other route. But they live together, unhappy, not wanting each other for many, many years.
Yeah.
They're obligated, but.
Because they're obligated, and maybe that's loyalty, maybe that's living up to, the promise that they made to each other, their vows. But most times, they're just scared to make a move. they get complacent, right?
So what you got real quick, Jamal?
Because y'all super nice, and I'm not the nice person at all. I'm cutthroat. Crap, I totally object. There are total reasons to go off on people for so many right reasons. You in my house, you brought it around my kids, you touched my kids, you messed with my money. I couldn't have been somebody from my company taking money out of my pocket, so now you taking it from my kids. I'm going to bust your butt before I hit you with the lawsuit, and then afterwards. Just because. Sweetheart, I absolutely agree with you.
Right.
Women, you get offered D on a daily basis at the time you first hit your flowers. Guess what? I don't believe there's ever a time you can have once, just like every human being, man or woman, cat or dog. But at the end of the day, women don't cheat unless it's something emotional. Yes, they can be as loving and loyal as they want to, but if you don't give your woman that eye candy, if you don't give that woman that bad boy, if you don't give that woman something that she knows my man gonna stand up for me no matter what, no matter how nice and perfect you are, your woman still gonna follow you. Y'all could debate me on that, but it's too many
Jamal,
that crap will call me out before I missed out.
Nah, man, listen,
you don't eat the box
you just
getting cheated on.
You can't.
Oh Lord.
You can't get rid of freak. You know what I'm saying? You can't tame freak, right? You can't tame. No, you can't, man. Your lady, you can't tame that. You know what I'm saying? That's just something. Listen, if your lady cheat on you, it may not have nothing to do with you.
Oh my God.
it may just be she need to get her swerve on a different way.
No matter what, she's going to be loyal. She's going to respect her relationship. She's going to do all that amazing stuff. But at the end of the day, a woman will do what she wants to when her man isn't giving her that something.
All right, we got to wrap it up.
It's time to go. It's time to go.
Otherwise, you're going to get lost a dude like me.
Hey, listen, folks, we want to thank you all for being with us tonight. Boy, I'm telling you, there's some things that I want to say that I don't think I said tonight. Jamal, you always come hard with it, man. Thank you so much. AP, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. Having a woman's perspective, boy, you go so hard in the paint. Having a woman's perspective just means a lot. And keep coming back, please. You're welcome anytime, and I'll continue to send the show to you. Folks, this is what we do. This is Bar Talk with Jay. I am Craftmatic. This is my boy
Jay. And we got AP next. And we get Jamal on the line, but we got to get going. I had a lot to say, but we're going to hold off.
Right. We'll
talk with Jay.
We'll talk to y'all next week. And we out.
Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.